This
Here's
ain't crazy talk. I know it happened, bro.
what then.
I know.
So what, you want to tell it or not? Because either you're going to hold it in and let it destroy your life, or you just going to tell it now, or you don't even have to tell it. You want other people to tell. But see, people are not going to sit there and say stuff for you, Bryshere, and then you get
Around you. He been around you, so he know everything. He seen it.
He
been
tried
in
to
the
black.
house.
What's amazing is that Bilal going around here, Tasha K and TMZ talking
Tasha
about.
K just hit me up. She just hit me up.
I
Talking about
know.
the interview. No.
Do you want me to?
I gotta say, you were the only one that has been able to get a formal statement from Bryshere regarding the allegations that Bilal had mentioned on our platform regarding Will Smith and Charlie Mack and Diddy allegedly raping Bryshere Gray, you know, an enormous amount of times, and that's the reason why he was able to get on.
What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be. And when the truth is, she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer's.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. This is how we do. He says Uncle Will. He says Uncle Will. I know. We need to start right here. This is how we kick.
Me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
So after allegedly selling her son to Jada and Will for brutal freak-offs, Bryshere Gray's mama, Andria, is finally opening up about what they did to him at that so-called mentorship program. And to absolutely no one's surprise, she's refusing to take accountability. Bryshere is currently getting his cheeks played with by other grown men on X right now for $2 monthly subscription on his OF. Mind you, this is the same Bryshere who was on Empire having everyone talking about him and pacing to become the next big black superstar. If you haven't come across his videos, I strongly suggest not looking them up. It gets nasty over there. In fact, just a few days ago, the police showed up at his house after his mom called in to report that he tried to take his own life. But according to Bryshere, his mama has a mental illness, and she made this up just to look like a concerned mother to the public.
Made a lie and said that I tried to hurt myself.
Now, the thing with this whole Bryshere mess is that he wasn't the only young man who was handed over to Will and Jada for mentorship. Apparently, there were several others before them, but no one talks about them because they are not as famous as Bryshere. They allegedly turned him all out, got him hooked on the hard substances, and then discarded him by servicing him off to other men to have their merry way with his hole. But it gets worse. It turns out that Bryshere actually tried getting back on his feet after he got away from Will and Jada, but they reportedly blackballed him, leaving him no choice but to use the skills he learned from freaking off with them to make him some coin on OF.
Jaguar Wright told us that Bryshere Gray's downfall happened because of Will Smith and Diddy, and now look at Bryshere Gray's X account. This is absolutely crazy. Jaguar Wright called this out months ago, and now look what we're witnessing in real time. Jaguar Wright literally told us that Bryshere Gray was abused by Diddy and Will Smith, and he went running away from them. And we saw his downfall happen in real time. He suffered with addiction issues, and then he was putting his hands on his girlfriend, which ended him up in—
And not a single lie was told. Jaguar Wright did, in fact, tell us about what Will, Diddy, and Jada allegedly did to Bryshere, as well as Bryshere's mother's supposed involvement, but no one took her seriously until it was too late. Now, everyone wants to jump on social media and say she called it first. But maybe if people had taken her life seriously, the damage wouldn't have gotten this far to begin with.
Well, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Collectively, including Will Smith. Let's not leave him out. Why your son hate you? Why does your son hate you? What did you do to you?
But she didn't stop there. She also confirmed the rumors about Bryshere's then-manager, Charlie Mack, allegedly conspiring with his mother, Andria Mayberry, to throw him in that conservatorship, knowing good and well what was actually going to be done to him. Now, at this point, no one was even suspecting Andria to have a hand in this, because that's literally his mother. However, after Jaguar said this, a lot of things began to make way more sense to people.
And when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'm gonna kick you in your in and I'm gonna go to work North Philly style. You and Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life, and what you had to do with it. You f***ing CI.
Jaguar also claims that at the time that Bryshere was getting drilled by these men, Andria allegedly came asking her how to save Bryshere, because she was beginning to regret giving him off to Will, Jada, and Diddy. But baby, once that credit alert hit her bank account, she allegedly went right back to allowing them to do whatever they wanted to Bryshere. And you thought all that was bad? Wait till you hear about the alleged tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere having a freak-off.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay. You and Charlie Mack. See, they trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all.
Apparently, Bryshere actually tried to get back at Will, Jada, and Diddy with a $50 million lawsuit. But from the looks of it, it got shut down before even being filed. This suit was revealed by a blind item, and it read, "I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of assault by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs." Bryshere has never been the same ever since he got out of that mentorship, and that's because no actual mentorship took place. His body got used, passed around to different people, and once they finished having their way with him, they kicked him out of the industry and moved on to their next victim. Actually, right after his connection with Diddy ended, he was constantly making headlines for everything except his career. And it's wild because if they had really mentored and looked out for him, he would have been one of the biggest actors today. He was literally on one of the most popular shows on TV at just 17 and getting called the next big thing in Hollywood. Then suddenly, he went from all that to being a heavy substance addict and getting locked up like every other week. For example, in 2022, he got arrested and convicted for aggravated assault against a woman he was seeing at the time. But this wasn't his first time dealing with the law, because back in 2020, his wife got help from someone at a gas station nearby after she ran there asking for assistance. She told the cops that Bryshere had choked her and kept attacking her until she was passing in and out of consciousness. When the police showed up at his place to arrest him, he wouldn't come out. It took hours of the SWAT team going back and forth with Bryshere just to get him to step outside. And when his mugshots dropped, people couldn't help but notice how different he looked. This was when folks started connecting the dots and realized how much damage the industry had done to him.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had a for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Anyway, just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, Will Smith and Jada's former assistant stepped into the chat and exposed major details about what Bryshere accused them of doing to him. Bilal said that one time when he was in Chicago with Bryshere, he had a breakdown and admitted to him that Diddy and Will had been violating him in freak-offs. Bilal also claimed that Jada has all the recordings of these freak-offs, including the ones Tyrese supposedly participated in with Will.
And he was like, you know. He said, you know Will me. You know Diddy made me suck his. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo, years, all that's coming out.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tapes?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up, period. So when these tapes come out, people will know.
Now, folks were quick to believe Bilal for several reasons. One was the fact that he had Jada so mad that she allegedly tried to end his life when he made these allegations, instead of going to the police. In fact, some of y'all may not know this, but they are currently in a legal battle over some threats that he claims Jada made on his life. And the last time I checked, he was actually winning the case. Not only that, Bryshere recently actually did an interview talking about all this for the very first time ever, and he didn't deny a single thing that Jaguar or Bilal said. In fact, some people felt like he confirmed it. He also revealed that Tasha K actually reached out to him for an interview after she did the one with Bilal, but he declined it because he isn't ready to relive all that trauma just yet.
I went to his party. I was with Johnny Blaze.
Your mama tried to lie and say she was there. She wasn't even there. Covering up for stuff because he covering up all his.
You see how I get stuck in this shit, though, and it carries with me all these bad shits.
That's because you didn't know. They made you do that and then try to make you. That's why they don't want you in the country. They want you to look crazy so you don't have nothing that you can't. Because so people won't believe you. But everybody already knows something ain't right. I'm gonna send you this thing from the Impressive channel, and she was talking about what Tasha K interview is. I don't know if you want to look at it, but if
like thug wise is who? Charlie. That keeps him that thug. Cause you know they got locked up together in Philly before.
But
you see that mugshot?
But Charlie be acting like he didn't put Bilal there, and like Bilal playing like they trying to create confusion. It's just weird to me because
Bilal's the type of
he'll do anything because he getting paid. He'll say anything, and
he been around you, so he know everything. He's seen it.
He tried to what's amazing is that Bilal going around here, Tasha K and TMZ talking about.
She just hit me up.
I know. No. Do you want me to do the interview for you? Do you want me to not say everything but give like to say it like that it's not coming for you, but more like, well, with me and Bryshere spilled, and I know he going.
In the meantime, People had their thoughts, like this person you said, that poor kid, they ruined his life. Another person said, Will Smith is basically, from all I hear and understand, another Tyler Perry. Most of these famous people, especially the men, no matter how much we may like them or grew up on them, they are truly creeps and no telling the amount of harm they've caused. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Bryshere Gray's mom coming out to expose all these things, and even allegedly calling the police on him for trying to take his life? And do you really think Jada and Will had something to do with his downfall? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.